So I'm getting a message that your higher self has been trying to get in touch with who you are now for quite some time here, cousin. It's a very important message. It's a very necessary message. And I think you knew that this time was coming. There's a lot that you need to prepare for so that when this blessing comes, when you feel like you're finally where you want to be, you're going to be able to fully receive this. But there's some things that you need to know now. Okay, here we go. Your card that came out first is decisions. It says the need to gain clarity through decision making. And this is where you are right now. Thank you, Spirit, for that confirmation. Okay, so I see my cousin sitting here thinking about, do I go this door, this one? But it feels like you don't have enough information yet to confidently choose which door. And here's the thing. One thing about you. Ooh, okay. I feel like a lot of life blessings, you kind of sometimes feel like you didn't get, or you got the short end of the stick, because it's not that you aren't worth it or you're not able to get it. It's just that you sit on it too long, cousin, right? Like you're being guided and in this moment for your future higher self to have this confidence to just go forward, even if you don't know where you're going. Right? Like if I put the GPS on and I make the wrong turn, it will self-correct. So it's like, don't be afraid. Stop being so afraid to make the wrong choice. Just make a choice. All right. So yes, thank you, Spirit. Look at this. It says leap of faith, taking a risk, stepping into the unknown, the beauty of the unknown. This is your work right here. Now, Spirit, can you please give me more confirmation on what exactly my cousin is stepping into? My cousin takes this leap into their future higher self. What are they stepping into exactly? What are they stepping into? Because it does look like you start to say, like, you know what? Let me try something different here. Let me move a little differently. I'm feeling this energy though. It becomes exciting. Like I feel like I'm ready to get up and dance and bust a move and cut a rug. I feel like somebody here might be born in the 70s. I feel like that's 70s lingo. I don't know. Maybe not. But I'm just getting this overall energy where you start to like dance with life. You start to have fun with life. Especially if life has been very monotonous. You've been doing the same shit. You're tired of that same old routine. Okay. I like this. So what's so crazy here, cousin? All right, you could be an earth sign. I'm getting heavy Taurus energy. It does not have to be. Or Taurus season could be very significant to you. I'm also getting something about January 12th or possibly March 1st. Now with the Hangman here, I love this because the beautiful thing about you, you never had to become a different person. Never. Even right now, I don't care if you're drug addicted. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care what's happened to you. I don't care what you've done. What I do know, what I do understand is that you have never had to become a different person to be able to get relief in life or to get love in life or to be able to live life fully. But what does have to happen is that your perspective has to be a little bit different, but you're the same. So all this, I'm on my healing journey and I can't do this until I'm fully healed and until I go shopping, until I lose 200 pounds. No. We're meeting ourselves where we're at today. We got to look at it differently. And Spirit is saying, once you kind of get different eyes for yourself, you'll start to realize like, oh shit, I've been that guy. I've been that girl. I tell you guys this all the time, cousin. You've been her, been him. I'm waiting on you to realize that. Been attractive, been smart, been intelligent, been amazing. Right? You are not the worst of your decisions. How many times I got to tell you that, cousin? When are you going to believe me? Because it just feels like what you're going to start to see is that as you really lean into your future self and make whatever decision you've been sitting on. And I want to clarify that in a minute because there's something very heavy here that you have to take a leap of faith on. But it feels like once you allow yourself to be yourself more fully, you're going to see like, wow, I've been amazing this whole time. I'm also feeling grief here. All right, some deep sadness about missed opportunities or it feels like self-punishment is what I'm getting. Yeah, I feel like you held yourself back from a lot of opportunities or something here. All right, tell me about what decision is my cousin struggling with making at this point? Because this, you keep struggling with it here, and that's going to be the thing that sets you free. You're never going to feel comfortable making whatever this decision is. You're not. I'm telling you that right now. You're not going to feel comfortable. You're not going to feel ready. You're not going to feel prepared. And it's very inconvenient timing right now. But it's exactly that. It's exactly that is going to bring you to realizing like, wow, all along, it's been me with my foot on my own neck. Not the haters, not some spell. No, no, no. None of that. You've been in control this whole time. All right, but what is this that you've been, okay. See, and here's the thing. This is what it is. Spirit is like, your cousin does not listen to their intuition. Your cousin does not listen to the intuition. You are a high priestess. All right, you could have heavy Pisces or Virgo somewhere in your chart, sun, moon, or rising. Let me know your zodiac down below. Right, but one thing about the high priestess, it's all knowing. There is no veil. So it feels like you're not really leaning into your hunches, right? Or for some of you guys, you might be drowning out or numbing your ability to feel on a more intuitive, on a more somatic level, right? Sometimes, again, like I said, maybe drinking too much, watching too much TV, watching too much porn, right? I don't know what you guys are doing or what your vices are. And what's so crazy is that you're not even being guided to feel shameful about it or like you got to stop, even if you're with a lover who's not good to you. It's not like, oh, leave them or do this or check yourself into rehab right now. There's no urgency here. And that's interesting. It almost feels like, Spirit, help me with this one while I explain this. It almost feels like you have this belief to you here that if it's not hard and it's not the most difficult thing in your life, that it's not worth it or that it can't help. Right. So, for example, let's say you're super overweight, right? Like you're 600 pounds and you're like, oh, my God, I got to lose 400 pounds in 6 months. Well, damn. I mean, you kind of already setting yourself up for failure. But what if instead you're just like, you know what? This actually doesn't have to be that difficult. What if I just drink instead of 10 sodas? How about 5? And then you slowly start to realize you're losing weight because you're doing it sustainably. Right. So I don't know your specific situations, but it just feels like you have this energy to you where you make things super hard and you don't kind of listen to the part of you that whispers and says, hey, it don't got to be like that. Right. And that's what it feels like you're making this decision. Some of you guys I'm hearing, okay. It could be about a move. It could be about a potential move. Also something about a child. You could be making decisions about your children, your children's future. They'll be all right. Children are the most resilient people. Communicate to them little kids and keep it pushing. They will be just fine. Yeah, I also feel like something here about purchasing or property, farms. But it's like a big lifestyle change, okay? It's a big lifestyle change. You've been sitting on it. Spirit is like, make the decision. The sooner you make it, the sooner you'll realize whether it was the right one or the wrong one. That path will be revealed to you very, very quickly. And the beautiful thing that I just got to, it's no wrong way to really go about it. Because home is where you're at. You bring you wherever you go, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So don't think just because you done cross state lines that a whole new life is promised to you. No, if you bring the same shit with you, you're going to have the same life. Okay, and I'm saying that, here we go. And this is what I'm talking about. You have the 5 of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords. If you're trying to escape this by way of just trying to, mask certain things, that's not going to happen. Spirit is saying you have to start to look at yourself differently. That's when you're going to realize like, wow, I'm actually the King of Pentacles. I've been the King of Pentacles the whole time. Been the King of Pentacles the whole time. Male or female does not matter. Tell me about the blessing that's coming in for my cousin here, especially as they follow their intuition, as they follow these hunches. What blessings are coming in? What blessings are coming in for my cousin here that they may not be expecting or not? Oh my goodness, Ace of Cups. Oh, this is so nice. All right, so why I'm like so excited about this is because this Ace of Cups, this is actually my first tarot deck I ever worked with, and it's been so many years. So it's this card, I'm saying that because this card carries so much for me as a reader. And the Ace of Cups in this deck represents security and a helping hand. So you feel like you're supposed to do everything by yourself. No. So some sort of blessing is coming toward you that you, number one, didn't expect. And you didn't expect it because you didn't think that you would have help in it. So it could be some form of assistance, maybe a grant, a loan approval, or you're starting to realize maybe something as simple as where you move, you have very helpful, very kind neighbors, or you have them now. And maybe you need to ask them like, hey, can you help me out with this? Or you have a friend you could ask. But Spirit is saying, use your resources. There's a helping hand that is coming toward you. So do not sit over here and try to feel like you have to do everything on your own. You're so used to that, cousin. This is not that season. People are around you to share and shoulder certain weight and certain burdens with you. You don't have to do it by yourself. right? So this is the number one biggest blessing. And I love this because we always looking for a damn payout. Let me win the Mega Bowl, right? Like, let my Prince Charming knock on my door. Maybe the FedEx man is my husband today. It's none of that wishful shit. This is really basic, but very, very meaningful. So Spirit is saying, look out for opportunities to be helped. Okay, because you're going to start to realize that life is not supposed to feel as heavy as it feels for you. All right, and there's also one specific blessing that's coming in that they want to keep quiet or keep hidden, because one thing about you, cousin, if you know it, you're going to start looking for, yeah. This is like suspicious card. You keep constantly checking. So there is one blessing that is not being revealed to me specifically because they don't want it to be revealed to you. So they're keeping that one tucked. Okay, give me another one. What other blessing is coming toward my cousin as they follow their intuition, as they take these leaps of faith? Wow. As I talked about the intuition, we pull the intuition card, right? Now we have the High Priestess here twice. This is Spirit's confirmation for the first energy I got. Spirit is not playing with you. I'm telling you, Spirit is not playing with you at all. I promise you. I just saw 1111 on Saturday. They pulled this twice from two different decks, and that's number one. And number two is I was harping on how you kind of numb out your intuition, or you're so used to grit and grinding it out that you don't realize that there's easier ways to do life. It's better ways to have a more fulfilling life. And Spirit is saying, listen, the next blessing is that you're going to see is that your intuition would never lead you astray. You get a wrong feeling about somebody or certain hunches, you can follow it. That's not to be confused with anxiety. That's not to be confused with nerves, because sometimes people have a hard time discerning between the two. But one thing about you is that you're wise enough to realize what's actually suiting you and what's not. So Spirit is saying another blessing that you're going to get is you're going to start to trust yourself more. You're going to have a different relationship with yourself as you start to look at yourself differently. See how that works? You didn't have to become someone you're not. You're being relieved and you're releasing things that weren't you in the beginning. You're not anxiety. You're not depression. You're not somebody who can't get love. Those might have been things that you felt like happened to you, but that's not who you are in your essence. So essentially, you're not changing at all. You're just becoming more you, and you're losing the shit that made you cloudy. All right, because the High Priestess also brings clarity. Because it's a knowing, it's an understanding, and you're going to get help with this. Okay. Now, before we close the reading, I'm going to touch on love. You guys know I'm usually talking about love, but today I wanted to just kind of see what you have in store and what Spirit wants you to know. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, give me another one. All right, we have Taurus energy very heavily in your reading, as well as Cancerian energy, Pisces, and Virgo. Taurus, Pisces, Cancer, Virgo. Could be dealing with any of those signs, or you could be those signs, or those seasons are going to be significant for you, especially given that we're in Cancerian season. So this might be a very special season for you. So let me know down below. Now, what came out for you for love, you probably have the most beautiful cards you could get. We have the Ten of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, which is the happily ever after, the family, money, contentment. You can even see that sense of family here. There's like the husband, the wife, the kids, the dog, the patriarch. So it just feels like there's going to be a time in your life where you actually have the things that you want, and you almost kind of forget that it was a wish or it was just a dream at one point. And then one day you look around like, wow, my life, I really have the life that I want. So Spirit is saying, please don't ever lose that vision, and do not get so stuck here that you never get here, because you need to know everything every step of the way, and you have to take out 100% risk. You can never do that. That's just a very sophisticated way of staying stuck and paralyzed, right? But you're wiser than that now. All right, we also have the Hierophant and the Chariot. I love this. All right, so remember I talked about potentially a movement of resonance. Okay, this Chariot does discuss that as well. So if you've been wondering about if you should make that move, you should. Follow the hunch. All right, I also feel like you feel like it's the right thing, or you want to do it right. For some of you guys, I'm also getting, if you do move, that could be where you find your forever person, because what's coming up for you as well as the Hierophant, this is marriage. This is legal marriage. This is documentation. And this relationship with this lover, you guys actually do it right. Like for some of you guys, I'm getting that you want to remain like celibate until I don't know, marriage or at least engagement or something like that. Or maybe it's not that extreme, but more so like there's certain things that you don't want to do until it's completely earned or it's exclusive, right? So it just feels like you're doing it right. Like you get a chance to start over, and start over, do you? Because I just feel like with this energy that I'm pulling, you first had to start with yourself, start listening to your intuition, and that led you right down the path of your happily ever after with your person. Okay, so it's not just about you. It's also about your legacy and your life that you have the potential to build as long as you follow yourself and follow your gut. All right, cousins, so I'm going to leave this one here today. Let me know down below if you enjoyed the reading, and I'll see you guys in the next one.